Hey, how's it going? I'm Chris with PearsonCopy.com, and I'm here to help your brand make more sales with email. Today, as a part of my 100 emails in 100 days breakdown challenge, I am going to go through and break down an email from a brand called Caraway. They have baking goods and baking accessories, baking products, and things like that. As you can see, for the kitchen and just various baking needs. Um, I I essentially I found this email in my inbox because I signed up for the list a couple weeks ago. I opened this one because of the behind the design bakeware. So there's a behind the scenes, invite you behind the curtain type promise here, which I do believe they deliver on this email. And I got curious, so I wanted to know, okay, what's going on behind the scenes of this bakeware and why it's so great. This email is also basically just a feature benefit stack of different features and benefits with the specific type of bakeware that they're selling in this. It's not any one piece of bakeware; it's just the overall brand and bakeware that they actually offer. So, with those thoughts in mind, let's go ahead and dive into this email. The first here, subject line, behind the design bakeware. Like I said, this is a behind the scenes. Check out the features and benefits of actually buying our products. So that was a pretty unique angle when it comes to most of these brands that I've been breaking down. Not a lot of them have been doing the behind the scenes of how it's made or what's made or what goes into it being made and how does it benefit you as a customer. So that's one of the reasons why I clicked. I really like this. I really like the subject line. It got me to click. It's curiosity based and it promises something. Next are from name and from email. They stick with the standard brand name and hello at carawayhome.com. I think it's totally fine. If you're going to go with the brand facing, making your brand face the customer as opposed to a person, this totally works fine. Something to keep note is this hello at or the email address. Make sure it's something simple and personable. So hello or customer or something that's not customer service or info at or something that makes it look like it's going to go to customer service. If we can make it look like it's going to be going, if you reply, it's going to be going to an actual person. And if they do see the email, it looks like it's actually coming from somebody in the brand, even though we're not using a name. So the more real it can look like in the sense of coming from an actual person as opposed to an automation or a robot, the better. Let's go ahead and move down the email here. So we have the brand name and the tagline here, which I think is great. As much as I'm not a fan of images and using design in emails, I think this Caraway does a great job here, keeping it clean and simple. This header, basically text and brand information here, isn't too big and too obtrusive, so intrusive, so it doesn't catch your eye too much. But you can read and say, okay, I'm in the right place, and keep scrolling. Something else that was interesting about this email is they actually had a visual element here. This word "you" switches between various things. I believe it was like designed with you in mind, designed with the planet in mind, designed with your kitchen in mind, and it would just filter or switch and filter through those things as you looked at the email. So that was pretty unique and interesting. Something they don't have that I didn't see in this email is a view in browser link at the top. So since they use a ton of design, it's a heavily designed layout. It's probably HTML encoded and things like that. View in your browser would actually be a good link to have at the top here in case people's email providers or their filters don't allow them to see this design and what it does. So I really like the aesthetic. It's clean, it's simple, it's to the point, and it doesn't call too much attention to itself where it takes away from the sales message, but it's just enough to make it look unique. This brand is definitely looks different than the other brands that I've seen so far. First paragraph here, when it comes to giving bakeware a much needed upgrade, no detail went unnoticed. Take a look inside our design process to discover just how we modernize a decades old kitchen essential with our ceramic coated bakeware collection. So this is inviting the reader as an invitation behind the scenes into the back and say, hey, this is our design process and how we modernize a decades old kitchen essential with this type of feature. So I think it's a great start with the copy. It definitely sets the tone and sets the frame for people what to expect when they're reading through this email. Next, we have just feature benefit stacks. So you have a feature benefit, and then another essentially a feature they use a feature benefit here in the side text here, but essentially a repeat of what's up here, just in a different way. So the name of your images. Again, here we have the feature number 2, benefit number 2, and then a feature that mentions a feature. So a feature that uses the feature in it. So I've never been done before feature. So that's when you know it's a feature. And then moving on here, storage solve. So that's a feature, right? And then sturdy organizers featuring a magnetic strap for safely storing your bakeware. So that's a benefit, right? Is you can safely store it as opposed to stacking it or putting it somewhere where it might slide off the counter or etc. Right? Say goodbye to stacking your sheets. So that's a dimensionalization. So this is a great dimensionalization of this feature benefit. So the feature is storage solved. Benefit is study organizers featuring a magnetic strap for safely storing your bakeware. So that's the benefit of like, what do you get? And then this is the dimensionalization of like, what is it actually doing in their life or how does it make their life better? And it's basically here, it says, say goodbye to stacking your sheets, which a lot of people do stack their sheets, and this solves that, which I think this is a great combo right here. This right here could be its own email. this feature benefit stack with this dimensionalization, because you could say goodbye as you're stacking your sheets. That right there has a bunch of pain points to it, and you could literally tell a story or just kind of paint that image in somebody's head, and then go into the feature benefit and close on just the storage solve aspect of it. So this could be its own email. Eco-friendly, 60% less CO2 emission than PTFE coated bakeware. So you have your feature benefit, and then shipped in 100% recycled cardboard. So that's a feature as well. And they mentioned that, and that's a pretty neat way to ship things. So plus they have their storage thing inside of it. That's great. And then discover the bakeware set. So this is like a soft CTA of like, hey, this is the bakeware set we've been talking about. And then here, make healthier baking a piece of cake. This is a nice turn of phrase here, because when you think of cake, baking cake and healthy, they usually don't go together. So that's going to be a contrast in the brain, and the brain's going to say, oh, what is that? And they're going to double take and pay attention, right? I did when I read it. I had to read it 2 or 3 times to say, oh, okay, I see what they did. So it's a turn of phrase. It's a contrast, healthy and cake. Usually, piece of cake and healthy usually don't go in the same sentence. They don't go together, right? So that's going to pull in the brain to pay attention. And then explore 11 pieces and 5-piece sets that include storage organizers today. So that's what's included in the offer. So if somebody's like, oh yeah, I'm interested, those feature benefits that I just read are great, what am I going to get? So this tells them exactly what's in the offer. And then they have the shop now. And then you have essentially your guarantee, the 30-day trial. You have a feature of free returns, so that's a guarantee as well. And then your free shipping is a feature, and then you could do afterpay for 4 interest-free installments. So guilt-free cooking and shopping. I just highlighted this because guilt-free cooking and shopping, I don't believe I'm part of the target market. I don't do a lot of cooking. So guilt-free didn't really resonate. It kind of made me say, guilt-free, why would I feel guilty about doing something I like? But this could be a factor, or this could be an emotional hook or trigger for people who buy bakeware. And that could be why they're saying that here. So, and then the features of buying from this brand, Caraway brand, socials, and food information. So, with that being said, the 2 things here that I really want to focus on is the subject line behind the design bakeware. I really like that subject line. And the last thing here, I think is, where to go here? The source solve. This right here could be its own email. And I think that's a great feature benefit dimensionalization. I think if they worked a little harder, that never been done before feature. It's new, but I don't think it's not pulling a lot of weight here. It's like, okay, great, it's a handle. Like, what does this handle do? What does this grip do? And how do you dimensionalize it? It's like, no, let's say here, no slipping and dropping the pan while you're washing it. Like that's a dimensionalization, right? So I think they could make these dimensionalizations, and then each of these could be their own emails as well, following and saying, hey, we wanted to go into a little bit more detail on what this riveted stainless steel handles do, how we solve storage, and then multi-layer ceramic coating and what that does for your health and your cooking and things like that. Like each feature benefit stack here, and then dimensionalization could be its own email. So those are the 2 big insights I think from this email that we can take away. I hope that helped. I hope you can take that back to your brand and make more sales with email. If you do use any of my insights or any of these insights, please let me know, and I'd enjoy talking to you to see how that went. Otherwise, check out the other videos on my YouTube channel where I do break down emails. I'm doing 100 emails in 100 days, so you can get insights and take them back to your brand and make more sales. Thanks for watching.